Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Legion Talk, episode number 60. Now, what we're going to be taking a look at is Shang Chi dominates the domestic and global box office with 257.6 million, as Free Guy amasses 276.5 million in the fifth week. Oh, Shang-Chi is being stellar and stunning, and quite frankly, the world just doesn't know what to do. From thedailymail.com, from thedailymail.com, by Cassie Carpenter. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings continue to dominate both the domestic and international box office this weekend, with a total 257.6 million since its September 3rd opening. Destin Daniel Cretton's number one hit movie has now surpassed its reported budget between 150 and 200 million. This is a lie. This is a lie. Its reported budget to film the movie. Its production budget. There is a advertising budget which is just as big, if not bigger. Which means if you take the minimum number of 150 million, more likely probably closer to 200 million, 150 million means the advertising budget is $150 million, making it $300 million that Disney spent. If it's closer to $200 million, that means that they have to mark $400 million to break even. $300 to $400 million worldwide to break even. This movie is going to flop. It's going to flop. It is not going to have legs that Black Widow did, because Black Widow had Disney Plus releases at home that they could calculate in. This movie is not going to do it. Despite a 34% drop overseas, and it's not going to be released in China, by the way. China has rejected the movie, so it's not going to make any China bucks, where they could at least probably make $100 million right there. This movie is going to have zero legs. We're going to go from a 34% drop to probably around a 60% drop to an 80% drop. The MCU, or a superhero flick, currently holds a certified fresh 92% critic approval, garbage, out of 272 reviews, and a 98% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. That's also bullshit. I've watched the movie. It sucks. It's a six and a half at best. It's mediocre filler nonsense. It's nonsense. I'm sorry. It's not a good movie. I don't know. There's people out there. Well, you either, somebody told me on Twitter. This is the funniest thing. Somebody told me on Twitter. Well, you either don't have good taste in movies, or you hate Asian people. And I'm like, are those the only two options? I can't recognize a good movie, or I hate Asian people. Those are the only options. Like, really? Like, this is the weirdo world. He is the male Brie Larson. I love me some Brie Larson too. At least she's much better to look at, and quite frankly, she does yoga videos. Yeah, clip that. I don't care. She also got, never mind. Shang-Chi stars Simu Liu, who is he's the male version of Brie Larson, and he's a clown. Aquafina, who apparently is Marvel's Katie, who can shoot a single arrow through the neck of a Soul Reaver. Well, I sat there and said, I'm like, the dragon is dying, the dragon is dying, the dragon is dying. Well, he grabbed onto his sister. Tony Leung, one of the best parts of the movie. Michelle Yeoh, the other best part of the movie. Ben Kingsley, another great part of the movie. Benedict Wong, another great part of the movie. Megazong, Falachen, and Florin Montanu. But unlike Shang-Chi, Free Guy plays in China. It's earned a 76.3 million to date there, according to Deadline. Yeah. Shang Chi is not going to play in China. So you're going to watch a drastic drop off because China doesn't care. And it's unlikely to, after 2017 social media comments made by Sima Liu, who's an idiot, the Canadian son of a Chinese immigrant, resurfaced calling the communist country third world and describing its people as dying of starvation. He's not wrong. You know what? He says a lot of dumb stuff, but he's 1,000% right. 1,000% right. I'll give him that. Go Sima Liu. This is Sima Liu. Aquafina, who is there for, like, I don't know, comedic weird relief. I just why the name? Her acting's weird. Seriously, it should have been my sister, my best friend, and Shang Chi, who tags along. And the legend of you're letting the dragon die. That was by far the worst writing part ever. The Soul Reaver is literally killing the guardian of everything, which is like a dragon, which is cool. And the Soul Reaver grabs his sister with like its tentacle like tails, trying to pull her in. And starts sucking the soul out of the dragon, the defender of life, which they admit at the end of the movie that they couldn't defeat without the dragon, who was getting its soul sucked out. But he grabs onto his sister and he's like, I let go once, I'll never let go again. And it's like, hey, guess what? Let your sister go. The Soul Reaver, the giant like, apocalyptic dragon slash I don't know, not Hydra. Anyway, it's sucking his soul out. Let her go. It's gonna pull her away. It's gonna hold on to her. You run up. You blast it in the face. You blast it in the face like you did. Send the rings down into its throat. It's going to let the guardian go, the dragon. He's going to start flying. And your sister's going to fall. The dragon can save your sister. The guardian of everything can save your sister while you blast the Soul Reaver into existence. But no. You almost let the dragon die. And then, of course, Aquafina's like, I'm going to shoot it with an arrow. And it's like, boop. It was awful writing. Awful. I'd rather watch a monkey humping a football. It's terrible. In third place was James Wan's horror thriller Malignant, which nobody cares. Nia DaCosta's horror sequel Candyman, nobody really cares because it's a nonsensical social justice. Police bad, black people can't get out of the neighborhood. Yeah, I'll watch the original Candyman if I want that crap. Like Gothics couldn't watch it. She's like, it just immediately starts with like, oh my god, the police brutality. Watch Free Guy, 10 times better. Free Guy, corny, but you know what? At least a good popcorn movie, fun to watch. No nonsense. This movie is just stupid. It's stupid. But Den of Geeks, Shang-Chi is saving cinemas. Yeah, it is. Love or hate what Marvel Studios has done in the state of cinema, the tide of Shang-Chi's box office is rising all boats. Yeah, really? Really? Rising all boats, huh? It still has at least, I don't know, $43 million or upwards of $143 million, give or take, to break even. If it doesn't do it, it's a flop. It's a flop. It's a flop. Nobody cares. It's a flop. There's much that can be said about the impact of Marvel Studios' methods on Hollywood. I hear at the time, nobody cares. Yeah, Yet, love or hate Marvel movies, I love them, not the new ones. Cinemas around the world should be very grateful to the company, particularly the studio's latest film. Oh, should be particularly grateful to the studios. Shang Chi and the Legend of the 10 years of waste of time, which appears to be calming industry jitters about viability of theatrical distributions this fall. You guys are drinking paint. Oh, good God. The point of which was underscored again this weekend when Shang-Chi grossed another 35.8 million at the North American box office, at a mere 52.5% drop from its 3-day opening weekend of 75.4 million. This healthy decrease in box office looks like a return to normal for Marvel and the Mouse House. No, it's not. Yet again, Shang-Chi is about $43 to $143 million in the hole, close of breaking even. You're skewing the numbers. Its production budget is $150 million to $200 million, and its advertising budget is double that. $300 million to $400 million it needs to make just to break even for this garbage ass movie, which in 2019 saw 51% and 55% drops, respectively, for Spider-Man: Far From Home and Captain Marvel. Avengers: Endgame dropped a more precipitous 58% in its second weekend. Of course, it also made $2.98 billion worldwide, but whatever. But that followed a gargantuan record-setting gross of $357 million in its first 3 days. Yeah, duh. This returned to the status quo for Disney, which previously endured Black Widow, dropping 68%. Well, Black Widow was delayed, like 87 times, and it was exclusive on Disney Plus, which was probably not the best option, because if you would have went to the theater, balance out for families and stuff like that, 4 or 5 kids. In its second weekend, just 2 months ago, reconfirms for the entire industry the necessity of movie theaters. I love movie theaters. Bring it on. Particularly for franchise entertainment, as well as limitations of shifting to streaming or hybrid date strategies. Look, I get it. In fact, if you count Shang-Chi 4-day total, no. It's not a 4-day. No, Labor Day weekend is literally the weekend. You don't count the holiday Monday. It's bullcrap. It's garbage. Nobody else has done that. They did it for Shang-Chi so it could be like, oh, well, it made $94.7 million. Prior to Shang-Chi's release, studios were already balking at the rising anxiety among moviegoers, the safety of theaters due to the resurgence of things that are no longer relevant, driven by the no longer relevant variant. Yeah, unpoked Americans. We're going to make it all a big thing. If Top Gun Maverick had came out in the same weekend, it would have skunked Shang-Chi. Just skunked. Shang-Chi is trash. Even Disney CEO Bob Chapek signaled, he's an idiot, that if Shang-Chi underperforms at the box office, as all of Disney Plus Premier Access hybrid releases have done to date, the studio would open to considering Premier Access for other films in the fall, including Marvel's Eternals, another flop. On Shang-Chi, we actually think it's going to be an interesting experiment. It's not an experiment. It's called putting a movie back in theaters. What experiment? What? Because of the poof? Really? For us. Because it's only got a 45-day window for us. Yeah, it's going to flop and not make its money back. And Marvel title to service another going theatrical 45 days will yet to be another data point to inform our actions going forward on other titles. Hence, Disney announced last week, directly after Shang-Chi set records on Labor Day weekend, which its closest competitors were like movies from the mid to late 2000s. Woohoo. Good job. that the rest of the Mouse House and 20th Century Studios fall lineup would receive exclusive theatrical releases. Yes, Marvel's Eternals, going to flop, would not follow Black Widow, Cruella, and Jungle Cruise. Black Widow actually broke even, or actually made just a little bit of money. Cruella, I think it did make money. Jungle Cruise, not so much. I have watched all the movies. They're not terrible, but I like them, into the realm of the box office disappointments. Look, bottom line, Shang-Chi's garbage. It's not going to make its money back. It's a trash movie. They're trying to pad what everybody says. Record-breaking opening weekend. No, not a record-breaking opening weekend. It's garbage. It's in the lowest the bottom 2 to 5 Marvel movies ever for a theatrical release. I mean, yeah, you could blame the coof. That's fine. Or you could also blame the horrible story that nobody gives a crap about. It's terrible. It's bad. I had to stop 2/3 of the way through, shut it off with like 40 minutes left, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I had to finish it like 2 nights later. It was that bad. It was that bad. I didn't even say that about Captain Marvel. It's not good, dudes. It's not good. Shang-Chi is going to flop. Think whatever you want. Defend it, with pitchforks and knives, you Marvel and Disney weirdos, because social justice. You can kick rocks. I don't care what you think, because at the end of this, you're going to be mum's the word when it loses a massive amount of money, below $300 to $400 million, to equate for its whole entire budget. That's right. Advertising budget matters too. Advertising budget matters. Hashtag that. See you guys.